Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị sị na ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasata maka ana Igbo and Igbo community and ihe debe na Nigeria. Ya bụ ife ka anyị na-ewetara unu na Igbo Media. Dịka isi wee na-esole anyị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izizi gị ị na-abịa n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media, kabaru ka subscribe and turn on your notification ka ị lapụ miss any of our update dịka anyị na-etikwu ya n'ilu akwụkwọ kwa mgbe. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ya wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasata maka ka ya bụ ife si ada and gbasata maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ n'ala Igbo. Biko mma achọ ka ige ya bụ ife. Ihe a bụ ihe BIAFRA Chief of Staff bụ Ngozi Orabueze kwuru n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasata maka ka o si ada na Finland and gbasata maka Biafran Prime Minister Maazị Simon Ekpa. So igecha ya bụ ife idropụra ife iche n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasata maka ihe bụ ife ndị a niile okwu. Alright, over to you.
We want to let Biafrans know that the essence of the restoration of the United States of Biafra is to ensure that all the defense forces of the United States of Biafra come out from their hiding places and be in their homes in Biafra land, on the streets of Biafra land, in their homes in Biafra land. Nobody is meant to live in the bush. Nobody. We have feared the terrorist state of Nigeria over the years. Our Biafra Defense Force Liberation Army have suffered in an enormous way by hiding themselves. Even we, civilian Biafrans, we hide ourselves in the bushes because of the terrorists sent by Nigerian state to attack our homes, attack our people. We run into the bushes to hide, just to live. Not anymore. We can never live or continue to live in the bushes. Biafrans will live on the streets of Biafra land. And we will confront the enemies, the terrorists sent by the Nigerian state. We will confront them on the streets of Biafra. They must leave the streets of Biafra. So that is the plan, to bring every single Biafran defense person, military forces, Liberation Army, they must be on the streets of Biafra. We are already gradually doing that. And I thank those thousands of Biafran defenses that are already in the community with their people. That is the game plan. You must be on the streets of Biafra. That is the plan, to remove the terrorists in our land. I want to talk about our Washington, D.C. event, our Memorial Day event, which is coming up next week, Friday, May the 30th. In Washington, D.C. and in Homeland. May 30th is a Memorial Day public holiday in the whole 40 states of Biafra. Within that day, there will be a couple of activities, both in Homeland and in diaspora. In diaspora, there will be 3 activities in Washington, D.C. on that day, which is first, the launching of our Biafran embassy in Washington, D.C., remembrance of our heroes and heroines that lost their lives to restore Biafra, and a peace summit. This peace summit is going to involve all different Biafrans, different groups, and I thank all those that have registered their presence for this summit. One. We are one. Do not let the enemies divide us anymore. That peace summit, a couple of memorandum of understanding is going to be signed between the United States of Biafra and different organizations that represent Biafra. Thank you so much for all those that have signed up. On the same note, in Homeland, we will have the laying of wreath by the United States of Biafra command militaries at different tombstones of Biafran heroes and heroines that lost their lives. So the commanders in a couple of states that we've chosen for this event, because we don't really have time for all the 40 states, but a couple of states will be participating in this activity to lay wreath on the tombs of our fallen heroes and heroines. I thank you so much, the commanders in Homeland, for what you are doing to make this event a memorable one. They will be so proud of you all. That is his plan, which we must carry out. I wanted to remind Biafrans that are coming for the Washington event again at this point that there will be no bags allowed into the event venue, not a purse, nothing. The only thing that you'll be allowed to come into the venue is going to be your phone. We do not want to hurt anybody's feelings, or that your $1,000 or $2,000 Gucci bag goes into the trash, because once you drop it, somebody else is picking up and run with it. We don't want that to happen. Some of us that attended the United States President Donald Trump's inauguration, you witnessed what happened. No bag was allowed into the venue. We are a nation now, and we must maintain that standard as one of the best countries in the world. So keep your bags either in your hotel room or in the car or at your home. Please continue to remind everyone about this. We do not want to hurt you. We do not want any chaos. We do not want anybody feeling sad. Keep your belongings in your hotel room. There'll be portable areas to charge your phone. But no bag will be allowed into the event area, both locations, both embassy and at the hotel. With the update of our ID card, we are still waiting for the company that is printing our ID card. Those of you that are on the second batch, please have a little bit more patience with us. It is not out yet. We are still waiting, so don't freak out or say that it's been a while. Exercise more patience for us. The second batch is ready, just some final touches internally from the administration, which we are working on. And then we also already have the third batch. People are already in the third batch. So the second batch printing, the third batch printing might be going on consecutively. So please exercise more patience for us, and thank you for what you're ready to wait. I wanted to let Biafrans know we had a very successful week where we launched our survival whistle, our first fundraising, our first survival whistle on the Twitter space. It was a huge success. From there, I don't know if you have the number or how many survival whistle that was ordered on that day.
They ordered more than what we actually had that particular day. Okay. So it was a sold out.
Yeah, that was awesome. Because I believe on that day we were expecting at least around 50,000.
But we sold more than 50.
But we got more, so that's a huge success. Congratulations to all Biafrans for making this a huge success. For us to have Biafrans order over 50,000 survival whistle for their communities on our first ever fundraising survival whistle, that was huge. That means a lot of Biafrans are keen into what we are doing. And I thank you all so much for that. Also, during that period, there were the question and answer session. We have Biafrans ask questions and got clarifications on some of the concerns they may have. One major area that I want us to know is that the United States of Biafra, Briggy de facto, is one. Briggy has been collapsed into the United States of Biafra. The de facto has been collapsed into the United States of Biafra. There's nothing like any falling back. That was the criminal saying things like that. The United States of Biafra is the supreme. It's just like when you have a maiden name like Diane from Diana Okeke. You got married and then you are from Diana Ibe. So from Diane Ibe is what you go with, but everything, your certificates, everything you've acquired in the process from your primary to secondary to college, with that your original name maintains under from Diane Ibe. So nobody has fallen back to any trash that these criminals are parading to any Biafrans. There is only one United States of Biafra government at this time. Any other thing is fraudulent, not approved by the Prime Minister. I want every Biafran to be fully conscious and aware of that. Everything must be approved by this government. Must, underlined. There's no order. Any other person parading themselves as anything is not approved by our Prime Minister. It's fraudulent. Those are the criminal elements established and planted by the Nigerian government, by the Southeast and South governors to disrupt the full restoration and defense of the United States of Biafra. And we will never allow them with that criminality to exist anywhere we see them. They are not authorized to do what they're doing. There is only one United States of Biafra government. And under this government falls every other thing that our Prime Minister, us, all of us have worked for. Starting from the autopilot, starting from the IGBO of our leader, NNAMDI that was collapsed into autopilot by the Prime Minister, because our Prime Minister observed, and we all noticed the criminals that surround our leader NNAMDI that started working with the Nigerian state and the Nigerian government. The ESN that was established by Onyendu, the criminal DOS, they sold them to the delegitimized Southeast and South governors just to disrupt the restoration of Biafra. That was how our Prime Minister moved everything into autopilot. And then from autopilot, we moved into Briggy. And then from Briggy, we moved into the United States of Biafra. It is a continuum. It is a continuum. Anybody that falls out from this line, it's not in line with the template laid by our Onyendu and our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. That thing does not exist. Anything de facto, anything Briggy, anything United States of Biafra must be approved by this current cabinet of the United States of Biafra government. Any other thing outside that does not exist. They are fraudulent. They are the tools being used by Tinubu and Christopher Musa to disrupt what we are doing. I will never allow them. I want to tell Biafrans, our next week fundraising is cancelled. Fundi, I know, you know, yes. We're not going to have any fundraising next week, Saturday, because it is our Memorial Day weekend. A lot of Biafrans are going to be very, very busy, both at home and abroad. And we want to make sure we have a successful event. And we want to rest after that Friday event, which is on the May 30th. So on Saturday, every Biafran is going to rest. On Sunday, every Biafran is going to rest. And we will start our activities on the Monday of that of the upper week. Next week, Friday, Saturday fundraising is cancelled by the government. We already have the Zoom link for the DC event because we have a couple of international speakers that will be joining us to speak on that day during the event. They will not be physically present in Washington, DC, but they will be calling in through the Zoom to speak to us. And we are very, very happy to have them during the event. We also have noted that heads of missions that are cabinet members are not mandated to pay the $300 monthly payment as long as they contribute in their country's fundraisings. Yeah, that has been a concern for some head of missions in different countries in the world for the United States of Biafra government, those who are also cabinet members. So since they are already contributing in their missions in their countries, we want to ensure that they continue to do that which they know best, and they will not be held responsible for the $300 monthly for the cabinet fundraising. I want all Biafrans to be aware, just as the Prime Minister fought the DOS criminals, the cabals that sold the ESN to the Southeast governors, the DOS that kept fighting our Prime Minister, the DOS that pretended to be running Radio Biafra. Meanwhile, it was the Nigerian state, the DSS, that hijacked everything and used that avenue to disseminate false information against our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, against NNAMDI and against the United States of Biafra, against Briggy. I want Biafrans to know that it exists at this time. It is your responsibility to fish them out wherever they are and give them the Woto Pro Max treatment. Most of you that followed Onyedu, that followed our Prime Minister, you don't need anyone to tell you. When you confront those criminals, give them that same Pro Max treatment. They exist now. And I'm very, very happy Biafrans are taking care of them right now. It makes our job very, very easy. So we don't have to go through those battles. And I thank you all Biafrans for recognizing these criminals and treating them as such. That is what they are, paid by the Nigerian state to disrupt what we are doing. You all must know that the Nigerian state will always plant their criminals inside the restoration of Biafra. They will always do that. They did that in IPOB. They did that around our leader, NNAMDI. That is how they ended up being the DOS. And that is how they ended up being the partners that the Nigerian criminal state and the Southeast and South governors work collaboratively with. That is why the Nigerian state become the publishers of information from criminal elements like Emma Powerful, Benjamin Madubugo, all these criminals that pretended to walk around in NNAMDI. But it happened in our eye that these people were agents of the Nigerian state inside Biafra restoration. So we have them now as ex-Brigade cabinet members, agents of Nigerian government, pretending to fight for the restoration of Biafra. So fish them out and give them the water treatment immediately. So Biafra is all the few updates I have for us. And again, I thank you all so much. One other thing, our United States of Biafra Constitution, the hard copies, and the declaration document, the hard copies, and the online copies from Amazon is going to be flooded maybe in the next 24 to 48 hours. So be on the lookout for that. So those of you that want to order for our United States of Biafra Constitution and Declaration document, it's very important you have those two documents. Just be on the lookout. We will post the links for that, to order for that, and for that to be mailed to your homes. And then those that want to order online through Amazon, it will soon be out. Hopefully in the next 48 to 72 hours, we are going to post it. It's going to be on my Twitter space once they finalize the payment modules for those items. I think that's it from me. We can go ahead and flag this fundraising open. Again, like we said, this fundraising, we just want to do it fast, as quickly as possible, because many of us have to do last minute shoppings, running of errands to get ready for next Friday. Thank you so much, family.
Thank you, Her Excellency. Thank you for that wonderful brief.
And what Neno from Igbo Media, boy by Sine Utanunya Dio Kempa, but Starbuck Yemen Nigeria, and the NNAMDI teacher, na Eastern Region, and Uno Kosia Dana Finland, and the Biafran Prime Minister, KCGD, the update, and the Yabu Biafran declaration came in Finland. So Yelina Kaya, I know Telu Nira Huko. Kifi Oliku Stamaka Yabo, Chief of Staff Hukasinira Huko, Yanebo Tagasiaka, and the new development on Biafra of United States of Biafra. So Yabi Feka Isikai, Tiedo no Kono, Guai Funchen, then Kono Bastamaka Yabi Fe, Guadado